Hello everyone, this is Darlene Knight, Little Grown Girl. If you have been watching any of my videos, you'll know that I talk a lot about test marketing your product. And a good way to do that is to sell them on online selling platforms. And the first one I'm going to talk about and share some information with you is Cartel. The second one, of course, is eBay. The third one is Store Envy. The fourth one is Zulily. And the fifth one is Bonanza.com. And you may have already had some experiences with either one of these selling platforms, and if you have, please be sure to post a comment below. And what happens with that is anyone that watches this video and want to become educated about any one of these selling platforms, they not only have my opinion about the selling platform, but they also have yours. The objective is to have items from your clothing line everywhere. That means on as many selling platforms as you possibly can. And it doesn't cost very much to sell on a lot of the platforms, but be sure to read through all the information as it relates to the fees, the policies, the guidelines, and everything on any one of these selling platforms. And think of it in the sense of when you go to an event, a craft show, a street festival, if you're selling anywhere, and of course they have rules, regulations, and policies and so on and so forth. So make sure that you educate yourself on any one of these selling platforms if you choose to test market your product on the platforms. And when and if you do choose to sell items from your clothing line on any one of these platforms, be sure to save your pictures with file names such as, let's say, Black Men's Graphic Zebra Print T-shirt, or Girls Size 8 Lily Blue Flare Leg Jeans. And what happens with that is it makes your picture and your item even more searchable, because remember, a lot of people search for photos, because there are times when I'll go to images, even if I'm looking for it could be a certain dress, a certain style of dress, and I'll go to images and will literally search for an image of what it is that I'm looking for. And of course that image will link you back to the website where that is saved. So that's a good thing. Be sure to get into the habit of giving your images names so that they become more searchable in Google. And well, let's get started. Let's start with the first one I'm going to talk about is, and I just basically wanted to show you some information. Cartel, of course, is a selling platform. You can check their website, bigcartel.com, for all the information. I just want to make you aware that the website is actually out there. And then what I wanted to do is show you a ranking on Alexa for that particular website. And with bigcartel.com, they have a global ranking of 2,068 out of millions of websites, which is not bad, and it's ranked 981 in the United States. And that's still not bad compared to a website being ranked something like Made It Myself is ranked at, I think, like 26,878 or something. Now, the chances of someone finding your product on that website is far and few. But when you start talking, 981 in the United States ranking, that's not bad, especially when you're marketing your product. Okay, so bigcartel.com, global ranking of 2,068, and the United States is 981. It's a very quality selling platform too. And in fact, the actor slash singer slash DJ Idris Elba has a t-shirt line on bigcartel.com. So it's not a slouchy, place to sell your items. Be sure to check that one out. And of course, you know about eBay. They have a global ranking of 19 and a ranking of 7 in the United States. So we know eBay has been the monster online selling platform forever. But the unfortunate thing is because they got a new president. And of course, eBay and PayPal are separating as companies. And you know, that always happens when there is some restructuring within a company. And you can already see the changes at eBay in the sense that the fees, where there used to be you can post, I think it was like maybe 50 items for no insertion fee. You can post 20 items now with no insertion fee, and anything beyond that 20 items you have to pay 30 cents per insertion fee. That's on top of selling fees. So they get a percentage from the item if you sell the item, but if you sell the item, they refund you the 30 cents. So they say you're still getting the 30 cents because you're getting the 30 cents out of a percentage from my sale. So not only that, to relist that same item that does not sell, or if it doesn't sell, it'll cost you 30 cents. So if I post an item beyond 20 items, you're charging me 30 cents. If that item does not sell, I can relist it, and that's going to cost me 30 cents. A lot of eBay sellers have went over to the selling platform Bonanza.com. But again, for me, it's all about what works for you. So if you find that eBay is a good platform for items from your clothing line, then by all means use eBay. If you find that Bonanza, Big Cartel, Store Envy, or any one of those other selling platforms, you know, work for your product and you can find a market there, then by all means do what you need to do as a business owner. And that's basically all it is. Remember, test marketing, and there are some success stories from people selling on eBay where they've literally just started selling random items, and here it is now they're making $1 million a year, you know, selling vintage clothing or vintage decor or things like such. I'm going to share one of those stories with you at the end of this video. And let's go on to the next one, and the next one is StoreEnvy.com. And I mentioned in another video I have just opened up a store on Store Envy, and I will be doing a video to report how things worked out on Store Envy thus far. And we'll see what's going on with that. Of course, they get a percentage from whatever it is that you sell. But again, go to the StoreEnvy.com, read about pricing, read about the plans, read about, you know, everything that has to do with selling on that platform. I don't want to quote anything. I want you to actually go to the website, read it, educate yourself about it, find out about it on your own. But with Store Envy, they have a 5,273 ranking. That's just a global ranking, right? And that's still not bad. And in the United States, they have a 1,579 ranking. So it's not like they're in the same neighborhood with eBay, because remember, eBay has a 7 ranking in the United States. So right now, you know, it's still kind of the master platform, but like I said, they're steadily on the decline. And I think, let me bounce back to eBay, I think eBay is more or less trying to become this platform where it's for brands. They want to sell brands as opposed to you know, micro businesses going there to sell, or people that have used items and so on and so forth, because as you know, they've been shutting a lot of people's accounts down. They've been doing a lot of strange things as it relates to people, you know, their accounts getting closed down. So hey, we'll see what's going on sooner or later. So Store Envy, not a bad place to sell. And again, it's about having your product just anywhere and everywhere for familiarity, and you want to make it more searchable. So the more quality places you have your products, the more searchable your business name and your line becomes. Let's talk about Zulily. I don't think very many people know about selling on Zulily. It's actually very simple. Zulily, you basically sign up. If you're accepted, you send in a SKU number for each item, the quantities that you plan to sell, the name of the item. It's a very simple process. And of course they look for very different, very quality product. So that's a really cool selling platform, and I plan to look into that one to sell my items on within the next week. Zulily has a global ranking of 680, and they have a 162 ranking in the United States, and that's not bad considering that we see Zulily advertisements all over the website. I don't think there's not one of us that hasn't seen a Zulily advertisement somewhere, somehow, in our email, on our websites, just kind of anywhere and everywhere. And I'm really surprised they only have a 162 rating, considering all the advertisement that they do. But check them out, Zulily. If you are interested in Zulily or selling your products on Zulily, be sure to check the websites out. And I don't like to quote any information. I like for people to actually go to the website, educate yourself about, the information that's on the website, and then that way you're not getting the information third hand. What I'm basically doing is just making you aware that these platforms are there, and, they're just another option in which you can sell and make your line of clothing known. Just kind of get them out there, and that's what it's all about. Okay, and the last selling platform we want to talk about is called Bonanza.com. Has a global ranking of 5,130. And of course, as you can see, they have a 1592 United States ranking. And I don't think that I'm going to be trying Bonanza.com. I went over, I kind of walked through the selling platform and, took a look at the items that are on the website and so on and so forth. And it's more of like how eBay was when it first started to me. And it's just not one of the websites that I feel works well with my line of clothing. And that's what you have to do. Just kind of pick and choose which selling platforms you believe will work well for your line. It's about establishing a market, networking, again, familiarity, get people familiar with the product. You want to kind of saturate anywhere and everywhere that you possibly can. And if any person thinks going into this to start a clothing line is a 1 hour a day job, it's not. I mean, it's a lot of work. Day in, day out, day in, day out, every day, all day, every day, all day. And it's not just coming up with a design and putting it on a t-shirt, or decorating a t-shirt, or sewing a dress, or making a dress, or any of those things. There's a whole lot of elements that come into play. And in one of my other videos, I talked about what success means for you. If you have a line and you're trying to make that line hit box stores, if that's where you want your line is in box stores, you're going to have to do a whole lot of hustling. I mean, a whole lot of working. There's going to be a whole lot of sleepless nights. There's going to be, you got to hit it every single day, every single night. It's not easy if that's what your goals are, for your line. And if your goal is to make, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 a month, just selling on online platforms, if selling at special events or doing anything like such, then by all means, that's what success means for you. And each person has, a different idea of what success is for them. So hopefully this information helps any person that is wanting to or has a clothing line, and you're trying to figure out how to put the pieces together. Where do the pieces go? And nobody has a master plan on how to do it, but, just plant seeds. As long as you're doing something towards the growth of your clothing line, that's all that matters. And, it's trial and error, you figure it out as you go along. That's like, it's like trying on a pair of shoes. You try on a pair, you try on a pair, you try on a different pair, you try on another pair, until you put on a pair that actually you say, hey, these are going to work. I like this. These will work for me. That's the same with your clothing line. When you find different avenues in which to sell and market your line. But remember, backtrack it. You have to make sure that you have a quality product because sales. No one can convince me that things do not sell, because I see some of the trashiest, the low quality, just everything, and people sell it. People make money. Even when you go to different events and stuff, it's the trashiest, the quality is not good, it's not packaged well, but yet they're making money off of that product. So, you know, it just depends. So don't never let anyone tell you that you can't be successful in what it is that you're doing with your line of clothing. You know, that's yours. That's what makes it unique. It's yours. You know, it's like having a baby. You know, it's yours, and the way that you nurture it, the way that you feed it, the way that you take care of it is going to be the end result to it being successful or not successful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the link in the description for Nasty Gal Clothing, and she's a young lady that became very successful online selling vintage clothing. She started on eBay, and she started when she was like 22 years old, and she was a college dropout, and her name is Sophie. She was working at an art school checking student IDs for $13 an hour. So she started this little project up called Nasty Gal, where she was selling vintage clothing on eBay. And you can get the full story from the link I'll post in the description area. I do hope that any information that I put on these videos helps. So you're welcome to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. Darlene Knight, Little Grown Girl. Thanks for watching.